In 58 BCE, the Roman Republic stood as a Mediterranean superpower, its legions unmatched, its borders expanding. To the north lay Gaul, a vast region of modern France, Belgium, Switzerland, and parts of Germany, inhabited by Celtic and Belgic tribes. These tribes, numbering over 60 distinct groups, lived in fortified settlements called oppida, sustained by agriculture and trade. Between 58 and 50 BCE, Julius Caesar, a Roman general and governor, launched a series of campaigns known as the Gallic Wars, conquering Gaul and annexing it as a Roman province. Over 8 years, these wars killed or enslaved an estimated 1 million Gauls, secured Caesar's legacy, and reshaped Europe. This is the story of Rome's relentless conquest and Gaul's fierce resistance. Caesar, aged 42 in 58 BCE, faced political and financial challenges in Rome. As governor of Cisalpine Gaul and Illyricum, he commanded 4 legions, approximately 24,000 men. Gaul offered wealth, prestige, and a loyal army to bolster his ambitions. The Gallic tribes, including the Helvetii, Belgae, and Arverni, were skilled warriors, often numbering in the tens of thousands, armed with long swords, spears, and cavalry. Their decentralized society, led by chieftains and guided by druids, resisted unification until a leader emerged to challenge Rome. The Gallic Wars began with a migration and ended with a siege that defined an era. The Gallic Wars commenced in spring 58 BCE when the Helvetii, a tribe from modern Switzerland, initiated a migration of 368,000 people, including 92,000 warriors, to seek new lands in western Gaul. Their route crossed the territory of the Edui, a Roman allied tribe. Caesar, commanding 3 legions, 18,000 men, marched from Cisalpine Gaul to intercept them. On June 14, 58 BCE, he engaged the Helvetii at the Seine River near modern Lyon. 1/4 of the Helvetii had crossed when Caesar attacked at dawn, his legions forming a triple-line battle formation. Roman pillar, heavy javelins, disrupted the Helvetii's shield wall, followed by gladius thrusts. Approximately 30,000 Helvetii perished, and the survivors, roughly 110,000, surrendered, forced to return to their homeland under Roman oversight. The Helvetii's defeat alarmed other Gallic tribes. In 57 BCE, the Belgae, a confederation of 15 northern tribes, mobilized an estimated 100,000 warriors to resist Roman expansion. Caesar, now with 6 legions, 36,000 men, advanced to the Sabas River, modern Sambrun, Belgium. On July 31, 57 BCE, the Nervii, a Belgic tribe, ambushed Caesar's forces as they constructed a fortified camp. The attack caught 2 legions, the 9th and 10th, off guard. With no time to erect palisades, the Nervii, 60,000 strong, charged across the river, wielding spears and long swords. Caesar rallied his troops, forming a defensive square. The 10th Legion, under Titus Labienus, outflanked the Nervii, breaking their assault. By dusk, an estimated 50,000 Belgae lay dead, and the surviving tribes submitted to Rome. The campaign secured northern Gaul but fueled resentment among the tribes. Between 56 and 55 BCE, Caesar consolidated Roman control over western and northern Gaul. In 56 BCE, he targeted the Veneti, a maritime tribe in Armorica, modern Brittany. Known for their 220-ship fleet of oak-hulled vessels, the Veneti conducted hit-and-run raids, evading Roman land forces. Caesar constructed a fleet of 100 quinqueremes, 5-oared galleys, manned by Edui rowers. In September 56 BCE at Quiberon Bay, Roman ships trapped the Veneti fleet in shallow waters, using grappling hooks and corvus boarding ramps to capture vessels. The Veneti lost 200 ships and 20,000 men, Their leaders were executed, and survivors enslaved. Armorica fell under Roman control. In 55 BCE, Caesar extended his campaigns beyond Gaul. In June, he crossed the Rhine River into Germania, targeting the Suebi tribe. His engineers built a 1,400-foot wooden bridge across the Rhine near modern Koblenz in 10 days. Using 40,000 timber piles driven into the riverbed, 2 legions, 12,000 men marched across, burned Suebi settlements, and withdrew after 18 days, dismantling the bridge. The operation intimidated eastern tribes without significant losses. That August, Caesar launched an expedition to Britannia, landing near modern Deal with 2 legions, 12,000 men, and 80 transport ships. Britons, armed with slings and chariots, harassed the landing, but Roman artillery, ballista and catapults, drove them back. Storms damaged the fleet, limiting the campaign to 3 weeks. Caesar exacted tribute from the Catuvellauni tribe and returned to Gaul, demonstrating Rome's reach. In 52 BCE, a unified Gallic rebellion erupted under Vercingetorix, a 30-year-old chieftain of the Arverdi tribe from central Gaul. Vercingetorix rallied 40 tribes, including the Edui Carnates and Bituriges, amassing an estimated 200,000 warriors. His strategy focused on attrition. He ordered crops burned, villages abandoned, and supply lines harassed to starve Roman forces. Between January and March 52 BCE, his war bands, equipped with 15,000 cavalry, conducted guerrilla raids, destroying Roman foraging parties and wagons. Gaul's fertile plains turned to ash, with an estimated 10,000 tons of grain torched. Caesar, wintering in Cisalpine Gaul, returned with 6 legions, 36,000 men, and 4,000 German cavalry. In April, he besieged Avaricum, a Bituriges stronghold with 40,000 defenders and civilians. Roman engineers built 330-foot siege ramps and 80-foot towers, enduring Gallic arrow barrages and flaming pitch. After 27 days on May 2, 52 BCE, the legions breached the walls using testudo formations and battering rams. The assault killed 39,800 inhabitants. Only 200 escaped. Vercingetorix, stationed nearby, rallied survivors, his force growing to 250,000. In June, Vercingetorix fortified Gergovia and Arverni Oppidum on a 1,200-foot plateau. Caesar, with 30,000 men, attacked uphill, facing 80,000 defenders, Gallic slingers, and cavalry. Hurling javelins from elevated positions disrupted Roman lines. A miscommunication led to a premature assault by the 8th Legion, which lost 700 men to Gallic counterattacks. Caesar retreated on June 20th, his first defeat, leaving 1,500 Roman dead. The Gauls, emboldened, prepared for a decisive stand. Vercingetorix chose Alesia, a hilltop oppidum in modern Burgundy, for his final defense. The plateau, 1,300 feet high, was surrounded by the Ouse and Osarine rivers and steep cliffs, housing 80,000 warriors and 15,000 civilians. Caesar arrived with 50,000 men, 10 legions, 2,000 German cavalry, and 1,000 Numidian archers. From September 1, 52 BCE, he constructed a 12-mile circumvallation around Alesia, featuring 15-foot ditches, 12-foot walls, 23 fortified camps, and 1,200 watchtowers. Defensive traps included stimuli iron spiked stakes and Lilies camouflaged pits with wooden spikes. A 14-mile contravallation faced outward to block relief forces. The fortifications, built in 30 days, consumed 1.5 million cubic feet of earth and 20,000 trees. Inside Alesia, food stocks, barley, cattle, and dried fish ran out by mid-September. Vercingetorix expelled 15,000 civilians to conserve rations, but Caesar barred their passage, leaving them to starve in the neutral zone. On September 28th, a Gallic relief army of 100,000, led by Commius of the Atrebates and Vercassivellans, attacked the Contravallation. The battle spanned 3 days. On day 1, 60,000 Gauls assaulted Roman camps, repelled by ballista firing 50-pound stones. On day 2, Vercingetorix led a sally with 50,000 warriors, using ladders and fascines to cross ditches. But Roman slingers and 5,000 Cretan archers drove them back. On October 2nd, the relief army targeted a weak northern camp on Mount Ray, where terrain limited fortifications. Caesar deployed 6,000 reserves and led a counterattack with 2,000 German cavalry, routing the Gauls. Vercingetorix's final assault collapsed, with 20,000 dead or captured. On October 3rd, Vercingetorix surrendered, riding to Caesar's camp in ceremonial armor and laying down his weapons. Alesia's 60,000 survivors were enslaved, distributed among the legions at 1 slave per soldier. Between 51 and 50 BCE, Caesar quelled remaining resistance. In spring 51 BCE, the Bituriges and Bellovaci launched uprisings, mustering 30,000 warriors. Caesar, with 4 legions, defeated them at Velinodunum, killing 12,000. In 50 BCE at Axellodunum, a Cadorci stronghold, he besieged 20,000 defenders led by Lucterius. Roman engineers diverted the town's spring with underground tunnels, forcing surrender after 30 days. Caesar ordered the hands of 2,000 captives severed, dispersing them to deter rebellion. An estimated 80,000 Gauls died in these campaigns. Vercingetorix, imprisoned in Rome's Mamertine prison, was executed in 46 BC during Caesar's triumph. Gaul's population, originally 4 to 5 million, lost 800,000 to 1 million to death or enslavement. The province yielded 500 tons of grain annually and 20 million denarii in tribute, enriching Rome and Caesar's coffers. The Gallic Wars transformed Gaul into the Roman province of Gallia Comita, governed from Lugdunum, modern Lyon. Roman infrastructure, 50,000 miles of roads, 1,000 bridges, and 12 aqueducts, replaced Celtic Opita. Latin supplanted Celtic languages, and Druidic practices were banned by 43 C. Caesar's commentaries, 7 books detailing the campaigns, served as propaganda, portraying him as a heroic conqueror. Published in 50 BCE, they secured his political dominance, leading to his crossing of the Rubicon in 49 BC and rise to dictator. The wars killed an estimated 1 million Gauls and enslaved another million, reducing the population by 20 to 25%. 30 tribes, including the Nervii and Eburones, were nearly eradicated. The conquest integrated Gaul into Rome's economy, supplying grain, wine, and soldiers for centuries. However, it strained Rome's resources, contributing to internal strife that culminated in Caesar's assassination in 44 BC. The Gallic Wars established Rome's northwestern frontier, shaping modern Europe's cultural and political boundaries, but at the cost of a civilization's near annihilation. That concludes the Gallic Wars, a monumental chapter in Rome's conquest of Gaul. Thank you for joining this journey through 8 years of strategy and sacrifice. If you enjoyed this historical dive, please like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more ancient war stories. Share this video with friends to spread the history. Stay tuned for our next epic, where we'll explore another legendary conflict. See you soon.